Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Here is a major example as to why the 10 horns that is upon the beast shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. According to Eurostat, 30% of the EU's petroleum oil imports and 39% of total gas imports came from Russia in 2017. For Estonia, Poland, Slovakia, and Finland, more than 75% of their imports of petroleum oils originated in Russia. The Russian state-owned company, Gazprom, exports natural gas to Europe. And in the case of this particular image that you brothers and few sisters see before you, Russia is a major supplier of gas to Germany through what is known as the Nord Stream gas pipelines. And there are 2 gas pipelines, the Nord Stream pipeline and the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. And also, we can see through the selected others, Russia also does in fact supply other European countries with gas and oil, as we had just read. And this piece of information here that can be found on Wikipedia. And since Russia had invaded the Ukraine, it had caused Western powers to band together and sanction Russia. And not only sanction Russia, but to also expel Russia from participating in various things around the globe. And further, Germany had suspended their deal with Russia concerning the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. And ultimately, what this will do is that it will cause the gas prices around Europe to greatly appreciate beyond what it already is. This will hurt Europe. This will hurt Germany. And who's to blame for that? America, Babylon the Great. Because America is the leading superpower that has been influencing its allies that are a part of NATO and the EU to cut Russia off from accessing and having access to various resources and privileges throughout Europe and the world, financially and militarily, but above all financially. But ultimately, this will hurt Europe more than it will Russia. And this will cause Europe to implode within itself. And eventually, a hatred will be bred and nurtured and matured for and towards America, Babylon the Great, by its allies. Because everyone's going to blame America for the cause of all the confusion and chaos that all of this will eventually create. But this is all working according to the plans of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Now, before I go on, I want to give all praises, blessings, glories, and honors to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, and Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ratazah. This lesson is edifying. Again, the suspension of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline will cause gas prices to further appreciate globally. You're going to start seeing gas costing 10, 12, 13, even more per gallon when you're about to refill your car at the gas station, and for various other reasons. Why? Because of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline being suspended between Germany and Russia in Europe. And this is going to cause a domino effect globally. Now, the goal of all this, as we understand, is ultimately cripple the global economy. And in leading up to that, we are going to see the effects of all of what's been going on between Russia and Western powers, as far as gas, the limitation of gas and that sort of stuff is concerned. And not only that, but also inflation. Let's not forget inflation. And inflation is gonna cause the cost of things to greatly appreciate, but it's gonna cause the value of them to depreciate, because value and costs are two separate things. Cost is what you pay, value is what you get. And so people are going to see the value of certain things depreciate, but the cost of them appreciate. So, for example, you might go to the store and you'll see a bag of bread costing $200. Chicken costing more, $500. Or because of inflation, followed by hyperinflation. So, in basic explanation, the suspension of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline is going to cause a domino effect throughout Europe and ultimately throughout the world, to where we'll begin to see gas prices further appreciate beyond levels that we already see. And this will cause America's allies, one being Germany, which receives gas from Russia through the Nord Stream pipelines, to hate America. And not just Germany, but also America's other allies within the EU and NATO. Again, this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, and the 10 horns, and the 10 horns represents the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast. The beast represents NATO, the beast with 7 heads. These shall hate the whore. And who's the whore? America. And they shall make her desolate. How are they going to do that? By way of thermonuclear fire during the Third World War, after the mark of the beast has been mandated, and naked. And America is being exposed for being a manipulative and untrustworthy nation, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, by way of those ICBM nuclear missiles. Because the Lord is getting ready to evaporate this place. He's getting ready to melt this land with the besom of destruction, because this land needs to be destroyed because it is completely wicked. And it will happen according to biblical prophecy. We're going to read it here in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. And Babylon, which is America, the glory of kingdoms. Because America is the glory of kingdoms. All these different kingdoms upon the planet look towards America as the glory of kingdoms. All nations are here in America, especially here in New York City. The belly of the beast, the melting pot, the beauty of the Chaldees. The ancient Chaldeans were witches and warlocks. Excellency shall be as when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Why? Because this land will be made desolate. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come. Her days shall not be prolonged. So the days of America, Babylon the Great, are coming to its end, and it will not be prolonged. So I will conclude the lesson here. This has just been a very brief and basic lesson that highlights the consequences of the suspension of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which Germany had emphasized in the news, and not just Germany, but other Western news outlets. They have emphasized that the Nord Stream 2 pipeline had been suspended, yet they still have the Nord Stream pipeline remain, but the second pipeline that's been suspended. So expect to see, because of this, a very rapid appreciation in gas prices. Okay, so this is just a brief update, and with that, Lord's willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect. Until the next, Lord's willing, I say shalom.